Somewhere right over here should be the border of Cold Taiga. No F3 on the screen. Uh-oh. I would have thought I'd be in Cold Taiga already. Is there still something else that I need to find? Is this not the last biome that I needed? Minecraft. Check out the Farlands. I might have to go that far in order to finally finish off the particular accomplishment that we have set forth in Minecraft Exploration and Tactics SPACEBARR'D. All the while, I'll be rambling about returning from my trip home from Florida and the wildlife that I saw in a state park. So let's go ahead and get started and see how this thing turns out. Hello, and welcome back to Minecraft Exploration and Tactics SPACEBARR'D, where it is I, Brian, your host, as we are on a journey of epic proportions that I've had to remind myself a bit about, where the goal of this series is to get all of the achievements without ever pressing the spacebar, without using the spacebar to jump or to swim. And if I take a look at my achievements at this point, I have taken all of them except for this one, Adventuring Time, Discover All Biomes. I was trying to finish everything before I left over Christmas break, and we ran out of time, and that is the one that we are after. That is the only one that has a little green arrow going into it that is left on the achievement panes. And so we have been exploring the entire world for quite a while, looking for all the biomes. And let's see. Right, and although there have been a few things going on in this series, the main one is the fact that I can't use the spacebar to jump or to swim, and in order to make that happen, I remapped my jump key to, I don't even remember what, insert, apparently, is now my jump key, some key that I would never accidentally hit, and so I can hit the spacebar, and that's not my horse jumping, that's my horse going over a little block here. Alright, and I had to go back and rewatch the previous episode, but we came from that direction, we had just gone around this jungle, and we were headed to the northeast. I don't remember exactly how we got here, and I think, I didn't take a look at this, I think the only remaining biomes that we are trying to discover are cold biomes. We need a cold taiga, and ice plains, I think, might be the only two biomes that we haven't managed to find in order to get the next achievement. And apparently we're up against some difficult terrain to traverse, and I've got some choices to make in terms of what direction I'm going to go next. And I think I will also spend a bit of time today just talking about a few things to recap my trip that lasted longer than a month home to Florida. Tell some stories about that, because obviously we're going to be doing a bit of traveling, because I don't see any icy biomes anywhere on the horizon. Hey, we found some more horses over here. And so now I guess I'm headed to the east, right? Yes, so we're going to head east and then back to the north, I think, in order to continue exploring new places. And because I'm generating new terrain as we travel along here, my frame rate I see is dipping down into the 40s and 30s, but hopefully we can keep up some decent frame rate. And hopefully I can keep up some decent commentary as I try to get back into the swing of things. This will only be the second video I've recorded since I've been back, so I've been basically 5 weeks away from recording videos here in the Lorgon 111 offices, as it were. Let's see. Desert out this way and savanna is definitely not going to have cold biomes. The jungle out this way also seems to be next to the savanna. Seems like it might be peninsula, because there's kind of ocean here. And there's more jungle over there that's going to hurt the frame rate. So I think, even though it's a desert, I'm going to choose to go this way, because it'll be easier to keep traveling this way. And hopefully we can go farther to the east before we make another northward turn in order to continue in that direction. Honestly, I don't remember where I am on the map. I just watched the last few minutes of the previous episode to get a sense of what I needed to do next. Ooh. We have to kind of hop across here. All right, looks like I'm going to be kind of building my way across here. I've got blocks in the bar. And how are we doing in terms of daylight? The sun's about to go down, but that's okay. And so hopefully my horse will not wander too far as I try to build us. Oops. Come on, Brian. All right, apparently I can't build there, because each time I right-click, I'm somehow catching the hitbox of the horse. We will try to make our way over to the next bit of land. And yeah, I have a few things from my Florida trip I can talk about that might be interesting. And so I think once we get over here, we will sleep away the night, we will get on the horse for the morning, and I'll start doing some storytelling. And we've basically been on this on this little adventure hunting for all of the biomes to get this final achievement for a number of episodes, and honestly, I have no idea how long it's going to take. I would have thought by now we would have managed to find some cold biomes, because I didn't think that they were going to be the hardest ones to find, but it turns out on this particular map, just doesn't seem like we have anything that's super cold. But let's go ahead and stand somewhere where the horse is reasonably unlikely to go wandering into a cactus, sleep away this night, and then we will continue on in the morning. If I can do a little homage to how Kurt talks in Firelands or Bust. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. So, tidbits of my Florida travels. Somewhere that I didn't mention that I was going to be going. Okay, I just got turned around. This is east again, so northeast is this way. This is the way I want to travel in order to continue heading away from spawn. Where am I in terms of... I'm actually not too far. We're only a couple thousand blocks away. I must have like gone back to home and then picked a new direction. Although we keep running into ocean over here. Should I go this way? That looks like that's headed to more Savannah, to the north. And the east looks a little bit more promising, that it's not immediately running into an ocean, so I think we'll head to the east. One of the places that I didn't mention before my trip that I was going to be going while I was in Florida was a place that I think I might have gone there as a kid, because I grew up in Central Florida, but I can't remember for sure. So I know that at some point in the past I have seen manatees, or sea cows, as some call them, in person. But one of the places I went over the holiday was to Blue Springs Park, which is a natural freshwater spring in Florida, in Central Florida, that, due to the fact that it's a spring, it has kind of relatively constant water temperature even throughout the wintertime, and is connected all the way out to the ocean via the St. Johns River and kind of like all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Tributary, I think is kind of a word, but I don't think anyone uses it for that. In any case, a lot of Central Florida, it's dotted with kind of lakes and other bodies of water. And the St. Johns River kind of travels across a bit of the state. And manatees are often found there, especially in the wintertime, because manatees need to stay relatively warm. And yeah, ocean water gets too cool. And so they come into these kind of river and lake systems. How am I going to travel across here? I think I need to make myself another little... if I take a running start, we might be able to get across here. Hey, good job, horsey. Although I think I'm about to run out of land once again. It looks like we've got ocean on 2 or 3 sides up here. Do we have... there might be another continent over here. Should I try going this way? Or should I make a crazy turn to the west, even though I'm not sure where I'll end up? Can't tell if that's going to be an entire continent. I could also leave the horse behind. We've done that once before as well. Let's try going at least a little bit this way and see if we're running into ocean over here as well. I guess this is south, actually, is the direction I'm headed now. Yes. So, Blue Springs Park. Basically, there's kind of a river and lake that lead up to the source of the spring. And manatees come there in the wintertime. And of course, I was there in the wintertime through December and January during my trip. And I think the last time I had seen a manatee in person was probably when I was a kid, like, I don't know, like 10 years old or something, and like growing up in the area. And get to the park, and you know, it's not a super huge place. There's kind of some walking trails, and you can go walking up to basically the source of the springs, and there's some other park and a little bit of kind of like, you know, campground and museum and gift shop and, you know, the usual kind of things one would find in a state park. And you go up to the source of the spring, and hadn't seen anything in the water, and finally got up right to where the spring kind of comes out of the ground, because it's basically just where kind of, you know, underground water tables like found a way to kind of like force its way up and through in terms of how the springs work. And I guess it's the underground water that then is always kind of at a constant temperature. And finally, up at the source of the spring, there was one manatee. And Thought I was going to see more there, but, you know, at least it was one manatee, and so it was something to see. And if you haven't seen a manatee before, they're kind of unusual looking, somewhat ugly in a lovable way kind of creatures or whatever. I didn't happen to bring my camera on this day, so I don't actually have pictures of manatees to show you, but that's an easy thing to go and look up on the web if you weren't so inclined and haven't seen a manatee before. But, you know, at least there was one manatee, and it's like, okay, you can't be disappointed about that. And then there's basically a way to kind of like travel along the spring as it heads over towards the lake on the walking trail. And so started walking along that and saw an unexpected bit of nature, which was a pileated woodpecker up in the trees. And for those who don't know a pileated woodpecker, if you know the cartoon Woody Woodpecker... Ooh! I think I might see ice planes over here. Hold the phone. That looks like ice planes and possibly cold taiga. We might finally be reaching our destinations. I'm very excited. But let me try to finish my story as we get over there. A pileated woodpecker is the type of woodpecker that Woody Woodpecker from the cartoons is. And basically, the bird in real life has a head that is, you know, shaped just like Woody Woodpecker with kind of like the red tuft that kind of like comes up to a point in the back of his head. And so he was up in the tree, pecking away at the tree, and spotted him. And so that at least was an unexpected bit of nature that was seen during this day at Blue Springs Park. And so that was pretty cool. But then continued to walk down along the system from the springs. Okay, I'm going to put F3 on so we can see. We're in taiga, and now we're in ice plains. Okay, ice plains, I believe, is the second to last of the biomes that we need. I think cold taiga might be the only other one. So at any moment, we might all of a sudden get an achievement appearing on the screen. So be ready. This might be cold taiga over here, although I don't think there's enough trees to actually make it a taiga. I think we're still in ice plains. So yeah, continuing along, I'll go ahead, I'll take F3 off the screen, so it'll be super exciting when we finally reach cold taiga, assuming that there is one somewhere around here. Don't immediately see it. Continuing along the springs towards the lake, and get out into... Oh, and there's ice spikes over there! Wow! Neat! Neat! I wasn't sure if we were going to see them. They are not needed in order to get the achievement for visiting all the biomes, because as I've mentioned before, the Explore All the Biomes achievement only checks for, I forget what it is, I think like 36 of the commoner biomes, and there's like, I don't know, like 50 or 60 different biomes with a whole bunch of different varieties, and so some of the less common biomes, like the ice spikes, are not on the list. Do I have a Silk Touch pick on me? I do. I'm going to gather some of this hardened ice or whatever. I don't even remember what it's called. Have I ever gathered this, actually? I probably have, but actually I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so this is ice plains here. Ice plains spikes. Okay, awesome. Can I pick this up easily? What is it called? Packed ice, right. I'm going to gather some of this because, as I talked about in a recent vlog, when I got back from vacation, I did a vlog with Brian in real life. Also out exploring biomes. In this case, a river biome, the Sammamish River Trail. I was out on a trail and talking about things, and one of the things I talked about was this series, and how even after we finish our goal of getting all the biomes and finally getting all the achievements without pressing the spacebar, I thought I would turn this back into a normal exploration and tactics series where we don't have any specific goals, but I just go out to explore and do usual Minecraft exploration and tactics kind of stuff, because there's a bunch of 1.8 features that I still haven't had a chance to really interact with that I would like to do, and this is a fun world, and so I'd like to continue it. And so having packed ice could be really good for any things that I want to build in the future, because packed ice is a really nice block. It is ice-like from the point of view that you kind of slide around on it, and so you can use it for, you know, mob systems and item conveyor belts and different things. But it does not melt even when it's near ice, ice, when it's near light torches or furnaces or other heat sources. And so as a result, it's a very useful utility block. And so I just want to try to gather a couple stacks of this. How much do I already have? Oh, I've got more than a couple of stacks. All right, we're going to kind of like leave it a little bit ugly up here. But so be it. I think that's about 2.5 stacks. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, that'll be useful for a bit. And still looking, that's not cold taiga because there's no snow over there. So still looking for where the cold taiga might be. And it also looks like the sun is about to go down once again. And I'm also still in the middle of my manatees story. That's got to be a cold taiga right over here. Okay. Before the sun sets, let's not try it. Let's wait until after the sun sets and we'll get it on a fresh day. And that'll be more fun for Brian for whatever reason. So let's put down a bed. I'll even put down a little torch here to warm us up. But I'm pretty sure that's a cold taiga. I think, this is again just from memory, I think that is the last biome that we need to get in order to get the achievement. And so we'll go to that, and then I guess I'll try to find my way back home, and then we'll continue my story about seeing manatees. Manatees plural, it's coming up. Spoiler alert. But let's go ahead and sleep away the night. Ah, how refreshing. Okay, picking up the bed once again, getting on the horse once again, getting turned around once again because your player switches orientation to be facing the same direction as the horse once he gets on. And somewhere right over here should be the border of cold taiga. No F3 on the screen. Uh-oh. I would have thought I'd be in cold taiga already. Is there still something else that I need to find? Is this not the last biome that I needed? Let's go over here and make sure we're in a cold taiga, and then I'll hit F3. Alright, let's hit F3. Cold taiga. So apparently there is still another biome that I've forgotten about. We did ice plains, we did ice plains spikes, we did cold taiga. Is there another cold biome that I still needed? I'm not entirely sure. So I'm going to check on that because it would be useful to know what we're looking for before we continue, and so I'll be right back. I am back, and there is another biome that we need. It is apparently called Cold Beach. Not sure exactly what a cold beach looks like, but I imagine that it would be like up against the ocean. And somewhere around here, I think was there ocean this way, back to the north, maybe? I guess let's just kind of wander around. I'm not sure exactly what a cold beach looks like. I guess because everything's covered in ice, it's kind of hard to see. Okay, there's the ice spikes that we just came from. So maybe over here, where we meet the ocean, there will be cold beach between the ice plains and the ocean, and it'll be flat and sandy over here, maybe, possibly. Let's not fall in a lava pool. This apparently is not a cold beach. How about over here? I do see a lot of sand over here. Hey, achievement get adventuring time. We did it. We did it. We were on a cold beach. We got adventuring time, and let's go ahead and bring it up once again. Man, that feels good. That took so long, and I was one episode away of being able to do it before I left for the holidays. I keep going to the wrong screen. Achievements. Adventuring time, discover all biomes, taken. And at this point, everything on the achievement screen is lit up. Without ever pressing the spacebar to jump or to swim, I've managed to get all the achievements in Minecraft. And so, let's just take a moment and appreciate that particular accomplishment. I am super pumped. Oh, man! And you saw it here first. Well, I don't know if you were first. If you were first, I don't usually, say something like this, but you have permission to put first in the comments of this video. Or go upvote the person who said it. Neat. As far as I know, I may be the first person who has done that particular accomplishment. And so that is pretty cool. Okay. At this point, I guess I need to go back home so that we can kind of gather up all of our materials and start doing some other exciting things. I think I know basically which way I need to go. Let's see. I'm actually really close. It's almost directly to the west at this point that I need to travel, it would appear. Is that right? Yeah, because my X is going down and my Z is already at, like negative 250 or something, and so it's pretty close to the center. And so I guess we'll head back this way. And since we came out to the northeast, assuming that we don't run into any oceans, we might actually be able to make it back pretty quickly, and that would give me an opportunity to at least finish up one of my stories from my Florida trip. Now that we have the Minecraft business out of the way, man, all the achievements without ever jumping. And what happened? Did I die 3 times, I think? Did I die like 3 times to the Ender Dragon and never to the Wither or to anything else? I think that sounds about right. I'm going to have to go back and review all the interesting stats of the... Actually, no, we can go to... Statistics are per world now, right? Games quit since last death. Damage dealt. Number of deaths, 3. Yes. Okay, I'm remembering correctly. Because we started this back in like September, October. It's been a number of months. And so... and I'm an old man who doesn't have a good memory. So yeah, it's been quite the journey. All right. Enough talk about that. You guys can reflect on this accomplishment some more if you like in the comments. I'm going to go back to storytelling as we try to get back home. And so... I had seen one manatee near the mouth of the spring, then didn't see any more, saw some other wildlife, and then went further away from the spring towards it kind of like opens up into a lake. And near where it opens up into the lake, all of a sudden, more manatees, and went a little bit further, and even more manatees, and went a little further, and even more manatees. And so by the end of the day, I think I saw like, I don't know, probably 50 manatees or something. Oops, crap. I can right-click on the horse in order to kind of like get up and get a little breath of air for just a moment, and then try to get the horse moving in the correct direction for the brief second that I am mounted on him. And also possibly give him a push as I go by, and hopefully, yes, get back out here. Okay, great. And am I still traveling back to the west? Yes, I am. Okay, great. Yeah, and so, yeah, by the end of the day, all of a sudden it was like 40 or 50 manatees, and sometimes you see like 20 or 30 of them in this, you know, kind of, do you just call it the spring, or do you call it like a river that's coming out of the spring, I suppose is the right word, like in the river. And so there were tons and tons of manatees. And, ooh, hey, there's a witch hut over here. Let's go explore that on the way back, because I think this is all new. Don't think we've come out in this exact direction before. And yeah, so that ended up being cool. I wish I had brought my camera that day, but I didn't happen to bring it that day. Anybody in here? Nope. Nobody here but us, cauldron, and crafting table. And then in addition, yes, I am headed the right direction. In addition to seeing all the manatees, which was kind of the interesting thing that I was expecting to see and finally did see. Then also near where it opened up to the lake, there were a whole bunch of these big birds hopping around that I wasn't sure exactly what they were because I don't know my birds well enough. It turns out that they were turkey vultures, and turkey vulture is a good name for this particular type of bird because it does look like a vulture, you know, like a big bird with a big wingspan that kind of is a little bit hunched over and hops around when it's on the ground. And its head looks a bit like a turkey's head. And so turkey vulture is a good way to describe this particular bird. But there were a whole bunch of turkey vultures that apparently, I guess, you know, roost or live in this particular area. And so that was another interesting bit of wildlife that I ended up seeing that day at Blue Springs Park. And so that ended up being a fun outdoor adventure, and the weather was pretty good. That's the nice thing about going back to Florida in the wintertime, even though it's often, you know, very cold and rainy up here in the Pacific Northwest where I live. Although it was actually beautiful and sunny yesterday in the vlog that you saw. The sun was kind of like washing out my face. I was trying to figure out what would be good lighting when I was trying to do the vlog. It's not something I'd done outdoors hardly at all before. I ended up like having the sun like on my face, and my face goes like ghostly white, just the way the camera was getting that with the contrasting colors. I'm going so way off off target, off tangent, whatever it is in the storytelling right now. But yeah, in Florida, most of the time that I was in Florida, it's like, you know, like 60, 70 degrees, even 80 degrees and sunny. You know, even in the dead of winter, you know, like late December, early January. And so that's another reason that it's nice to travel back, in addition to the fact that I just get to go back and see some family and be around the area where I grew up. And yeah, and so the weather that day was nice and warm and comfortable. If I want to get from here to here, it looks like there might be a way to walk across over here. Go, go, Gadget Horse! Woohoo! Seems like you can stay on the horse. If the water is only 1 deep, you stay on the horse. And if the water is 2 deep or more, it seems like you stay on for about a second or so until like the horse kind of sinks under the player's weight and ends up with you underwater. It looks like I might be able to cross over there. And I think I'm getting close to home because I think I actually recognize this area. It still says 1,700 blocks away. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't remember exactly where I am. But home is very close to 0, 0. Let's see. I do have other stories from my Florida trip that I'd like to talk about. But at this point, I've probably already been talking for like 20 minutes. And I'm really itching just to get home and go to our achievement monument. Because one does not simply get all the achievements without pressing the spacebar, without having a monument to mark and honor such an accomplishment. And I would like to get there in today's episode. And so I think I may end up making a cut until I manage to find my way back home. And so I will see you guys when we're over there, and we can put up our final achievement on the monument and do a little bit of celebration. And then in future episodes, I think I'm probably going to rename this series since it will no longer be SPACEBARR'D per se. Am I headed in the right direction? What's going on here? It appears that I am headed in the right direction, and there's an ocean over here, and is there something over here underwater? Quick, it looked like there might have been one of those underwater structures, or maybe I'm just seeing some weird kind of chunk borders or something over here. But do you see this? It looks like there's like a box underwater right there. Yeah, there's definitely something there. I wish I could figure out what that was. And all right, well, we'll have to figure that out in the morning. Okay, this horse has been swell, but as you recall, he is not actually a horse that I tamed. We had a game crash a few episodes ago where I lost my player inventory and stuff, and so ended up, you know, being in different chunks. We had to go to a backup, and so in different chunks than where I was when the game crashed, and so we lost track of our horse. And so this guy has been useful, but I think I'm going to leave him here so that I can just hop in a boat and hopefully won't sink or do anything. I've got an extra boat in my inventory. And so we are going to head back to the west across this ocean. Thank you very much, good horse, that we spawned in order to recover from the game crash. And I really want to look kind of below me over here and see what this box is, because it just looks really weird, but it doesn't seem like it's connected to one of the ocean monuments or anything. And so I don't know that we're going to be able to see it, though. And I don't have any, like, if I do this, no, I don't have any night vision potions or water breathing potions or anything that would help us see what was down there. And so I'm kind of curious about that. And I'm going to hit F3 just in case we decide to try to come back to that at some point. It's around 1,500 in the X coordinate and almost 0 on the Z. But we will have to worry about that another day. All right, I'm going to try to make it home so we can finish up this episode. I am rambling so much. It's the usual kind of thing. You go on vacation, and then you come back, and it's both a matter of trying to get into a rhythm as well as just being, I don't know, extra excited about being back to gameplay and back to being able to talk to you guys and having a bunch of things from the trip that I want to talk about. So I'll shut up. See you back at the monument. Oh boy. All right, I hopped out of the boat. One of the challenges of SPACEBARR'D is that I can press the spacebar to jump or swim. And now that I don't have the horse, I forgot about the fact that that means that this terrain is going to be more difficult to traverse. The good news is we've reached the end of the sky rail that I built while exploring, and also as a way to get the on a rail achievement, which is one of the other achievements that we need to get. And so I know that this is going to bring me back to my spawn point, since that's where the sky rail begins. But I'm not sure how I'm going to get up there. I guess I could just make ladders and just kind of climb a thing up there, because I don't think that there was any way to get up. I think I had built it in the sky, and basically once I got far enough that it took me out to get the on a rail achievement, I just kind of left it there in the sky. And so, yeah, I should just be able to build some ladders up there, and I've got plenty of wood on me. Yeah, and I can always chop down more. I know I'm going to be rambling, and one of the reasons I've been trying to make a cut and finish this is because I know how rambly I'm getting, but I'd forgotten just how tedious it is to have to place down slabs to try to get everywhere. I'd gotten very used to it kind of like during the course of the series. And yeah, now that I'm out of practice with it again, I'd forgotten just how difficult and painful it is to do things like this, just to try to travel up one block. And so I will be very glad to put that behind me, and so I'm glad that we have finished off our achievements. Once we make it back to the monument, I guess we will finish this episode still with the spacebar remapped. And then, actually, no. Yeah, actually, someone gave me an idea a while back, a couple months ago. I posted something about the adventure on Reddit, and someone gave me an idea in the comments of that Reddit thread that I just remembered, and so I think I know exactly how I want to finish up this episode, actually. And, alright, that'll actually take a little bit of time, so let me get to that. I see my house! I can see my house from here! 23 episodes of this, over a few months, and I still never even managed to finish a roof on my house. Speaks to what kind of builder I am in this game. We've made it home. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, crap! If I did that, okay. Well, there go those minecarts forever. I wasn't sure if I shifted out of that minecart if it was going to like drop me off the side and I was going to fall and die. That would have been pretty embarrassing. But it did not. Instead, the minecarts appeared to have gone right through me, which makes no sense at all, but Minecraft. What you gonna do? And hey, we've got some mycelium growing over here from when we found the mushroom biomes. That's cool. All right, we've managed to make it back home to where we have a monument which details all the achievements we have gotten. And so we will go back up to the achievement monument and show off that we've managed to get all 33 of these achievements, each with the same corresponding icon that shows up on the achievements menu. And the only one that we had left was adventuring time with the diamond boots. And we have finally gotten that. And so, just like that, I will mark that off, get rid of the vines covering it up, and now we can stand back and admire our beautiful achievement monument with the sun setting in the distance. Let me take a screenshot. SPACEBARR'D. We did it! We've completed the achievement monument here in Minecraft Exploration and Tactics Season 7 without ever pressing the spacebar to jump or swim. I hope as always that you guys are having a great day and that I will see you guys again soon. And yeah, let me see if I can pull this off. If I stretch, get ready, here we go, can I do it? Bend those knees. Hey!